Greetings, everyone. Welcome to THL's Hearthcenter, your Tuesday night show, bringing you the hottest highlights of the last week of THL. Tonight, we have a packed show. I am one of your hosts, Lotus Knight, and I am joined, first of all, by our regular suspects, starting with to our left, Super Chicken. Chicken, how are you?
Silent chicken. It's
I'm doing well. Simply put, we cannot have both Chicken and myself on video at the same time. I've never seen it before.
That is true.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you now. Welcome, Chicken.
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah. I was just saying I'm excited to go over playoffs because lots of stuff to talk about.
For sure. And last from our usual guests, we have Ron Mexico here tonight. Ron, how are you?
I'm doing great, Lotus. Happy to be here as always. We got playoff wrap up to talk about, the new playoff teams, a whole bunch of things going on. Should be a packed show. Excited to get into it.
For sure. And let's start with our two guests. First of all, we have always just in time. Justin, welcome to our show tonight. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Awesome. And final guest for the night, we have Saku. Saku, how are you doing?
Oh, fantastic. How about yourself, Lotus?
I'm doing great, and I'm doing even better knowing that I get to spend an hour and a half with you all talking about so many crazy clinching finales that happened this season or final of regular season. So to start, why don't we go over player of the week before we hop onto the meat of the show, if we put it this way. So we're going to start with Chicken telling us who is our hero player of the week.
Uh, well, okay. Skip me because I think my laptop is kind of frozen right now.
No worries. Ron, do you want to tell us our hero player of the week?
Absolutely. So, hero player of the week goes to Pasca. A lot of people have been asking how to get featured on Player of the Week. If I had my way, you'd have to have never won it before, beaten someone hard to beat, and been impactful towards your team's success. There has not been a more shining example than Super Sub Pasca. Not only did he beat Molstar in Legacy, but he beat Lotus Knight in Hero, which coordinated a leap over the previous buy holders to give F2L Obsidian the buy instead. Okay, now to translate for our Canadian. Oh, Geranium, you went in on this one. Après la semaine dernière, Pasca est super fort et le meilleur joueur des cartes de THL. Allez, allez, allez. That brought to you right up brought to you by Geranium Battle. I hope I didn't super butcher the French.
Okay, I can see why Lotus wanted me to do this one.
Well, I'm fine. I think Ron did a great job. Can we get
Not really, but we try.
can I get just a small round of applause for Ron's French here? Just
Oui,
always deserved.
oui monsieur. Très bien. That's about it.
Um, Justin, do you want to tell us our legacy player of the week?
No. Where can I see that?
It is in the topics. Well,
That's awesome.
while you
Yeah, no,
find
Where
it,
indeed can
let's
you
just
see
move
it?
on.
I'll go for Chicken then. Chicken, are you ready for our legacy player of the week?
And cut to music.
Okay, and we go to Geranium. Geranium, who's our legacy player of the week?
Our legacy player of the week is none other than Mayanadon. Wow. Okay, Mayanadon. Ugh. Similarly to his favorite football, Mayanadon has won his two most recent matches of the season, and none more important than his 3-1 win to clinch F2L White a playoff spot. Congratulations on Player of the Week and best of luck in the playoffs. Brought to you by Dr. Fish. Azalea Akari.
Nice. Thank you, Azalea, and congrats, my Amazon, on Legacy Player of the Week. Saku, do you want to tell us our Pro Player of the Week?
I'm good. All right, so our Pro Series Play of the Week is Cookie Monster. So, you come at the king, and somebody's messing with the sheet, so you best not miss. Well, on this sunny day in Week 7, Cookie Monster did not miss once, sweeping not only the clouds away, but also Ron Mexico, and his hope for an undefeated pro season. With a triple Renthal lineup of XL Blood, DK, XL Ping Mage, and you got it, XL Thief Rogue. The Swagoi 1C took down the crossover leaderboard top dog 3-0, helping give the team a 13-8 win over Brushy. I don't know how to spell that last name. Tuna. Okay. While it wasn't quite enough to sneak them into the playoffs, it was a great way to cap off the season. Congrats on the win. And that was signed by Dr. Bombed.
Nice. Congratulations, Cookie Monster. And now, Chicken, are you back?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you read us?
Okay, I may or may not be on my phone, but don't ask. But I do have it pulled up and I can read it. Would you like me to do EU Pro?
Yeah, let's hear you, Pro.
Okay. Our EU Pro Player of the Week is Donkey. As another regular season comes to a close, Donkey Hot heads to playoffs once again. The captain has been a force every season for his team, and this time he finishes with a 5-2 record after a tight 3-2 victory to end the round robin. Will this be the season Donkey takes home the championship? I'm certainly rooting for them. Good luck in playoffs, and thanks to Based Inc. for the submission.
Nice. Thank you, Based. And congrats to Donkey for your EU Player of the Week. Justin, do you want to tell us, are you ready to tell us our final Wild? I know you're a fan of Wild series, so our Wild Player of the Week.
Sure. Wild Player Week is Devilion. This is the last week of the regular season, and there are 3 teams who can claim one of the 2 playoff spots in Green Conference. The World Shakers are in 3rd place right now, and there's hope left for them to clutch their way into playoffs. Devilion played an important part in keeping the dream alive by getting a crucial win in Week 7 against F2L Viridian. Facing the opposing team's top seed, Devilion managed to build a lineup to counter Pillager Rogue and reverse swept his opponent on this controversial Rogue deck. Devilion has been very passionate about THL since the very first day within the community, and this award is the acknowledgement of his investment for the past year. Congrats on getting Player of the Week. Copa. From Copa. A bit of a Obama, awarding Obama meme here. As Copa bestows Player of the Week on one of his players, but yeah.
Fair. I want to give a congratulations to Pasca, Mayan, Cookie Monster, Donkey, and Devalion or Devalion. I don't know which is the correct one. If you want to tell me which is the correct one, you can in chat. Fix our pronunciation. We're going to make so many mistakes tonight because there's so many names to read. So, taking into account that, I'm going to hop straight into our first match if everyone is ready to go into Hero Series.
I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
Let's do it.
All right, so moving on to Hero Series, where our first match we're going to talk about is Abusing PR Management facing the Late Bloomers. And Justin, why don't you tell us about this one since you were in the match?
Oh yes, this was an interesting one because to start the week there were the Clowns had locked up playoffs and locked up the bye seed in purple, but there were 3 teams, both APM teams and Late Bloomers, that were all within 5 points of each other for the final 2 playoff spots. So it looked like with 2 of them going up head to head against each other, this would be a win and in. And in fact, it was not. After the other APM team, another pleasant meeting, got 2 points from their first 3 matches against ICC. Before many of these matches were played, it became a bit of a formality, but APM were able to pull out a narrow victory here with quite a few sweeps as well. What's been amusing is going into the week, you would think that the small scenario in which like both teams made playoffs after this match would be like lots of 2-3s, both teams getting a lot of points. But nope, there were just 3 sweeps here, but worked out enough anyways that though we late bloomers only got 11 points, that was better than the other APM team did, plus the 5-point lead. So ended up pretty smoothly gliding into playoffs.
So, I want to ask you, Justin, since you won the match, did you have any funny, great moments? Anything you want to share about particular moments during the matches?
Well, I swept Molstar on stream last week, and he messaged me after saying, oh, he would have banned Death Knight, the class that I swept him with, but he had not completed the tutorial for it. that was pretty funny.
That is fair.
So, it pays to complete the tutorial, even if you don't plan on playing Death Knight, just so that you can ban it from your opponent, I guess.
That's
Bit of a
true.
meaningless match, but it was a good time anyways. Diamond and Max, I know, had an epic duel on stream as well that I caught at the end of. Big Taunt Warrior made lots of stats, but Shaman devoed them away. But it was cool to see that deck do its thing with the 7/7 that doubles all minion stats in your deck into Last
wow.
Call to double them again. So there's some 4x grown taunts hitting the board, and then thing devolved. But at least they hit the board.
That's true. Maybe Geranium wants to tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. More specifically, I mean, Diamond played, I think it was a 12-20 and a oh shoot, what
16-32.
is it? It's a 16-24 or 32. Oh, it is 8 health. Yeah, 16-32. Both having taunt on the same turn. And then they both got devolved immediately after. So that was just kind of like, unfortunately, that's sort of the matchup. But I think if Diamond brought sort of more standard decks, we probably would have seen late bloomers. I think at least tie this entire week up. But Diamond brought some casino mage. He brought Rainbow Death Knight. So it was definitely interesting to face off against. Wild9 played earlier on in the week and got a sweep with Death Knight over G-Kick. Canoe versus Tab went all the way to game 5. That one was very close back and forth, like literally back and forth. And then by the time that my curse and Pokemon played, the week was already over. It was up 12-7, but Pokemon got the sweep to make it extremely close looking right here at the end. So for seeding wise, I mean, Pokemon didn't do anything, but points wise, getting above 100 is quite nice.
I just got to add that is absolutely on brand for abusing PR management to lose a game 0-3 when your match has already been decided. It's pretty perfect for the team name. Good job.
Maybe if Molstar wasn't the one to go 3 though, maybe then it would have affected our PR more.
Well, I was talking about my curse, but
Yeah, I know.
obviously Molstar. I don't think he got the memo that he was still above 550. You can't manage that way.
So, shall we hop to the other match? Our purple matches. We're actually going to feature 2 purple matches tonight. Let's hop into the first one. Saku, tell us about the match between the top two teams in purple before this week.
We lost. You see it on the screen. So, F2L versus Dola, of course. Top two teams in the Teal. I thought it was Teal Conference. But anyway. So yeah, we had to.
I was confused. I apologize.
I had to look at the screen there, see what the heck. We did a mid-season conference change real quick. That's why we lost. So, long and short of it, we had some bumpy roads. I think I was one of the first games. Oh, sorry, Mako won his game versus Corden, 3-1. Then I believe my match with Eternal happened, which I got totally demolished by his Warlock. And then it trickled up to Don Day, who was got 3-0'd by his arch nemesis there, Itachi. Not sure what their personal series is, but I know it's been a back and forth battle between the two over the past few years. So it's always fun to see the banter back and forth. And then Ron came along and sandbagged the first two games. This was on stream on Sunday, and used his shaman and tried to do some shenanigans versus basting, but she endured and took the win 3-2 over Ron. And then Lotus Knight, I'm not sure when you were the last one played, right?
I played actually simultaneously with Ron. I considered not playing a lot because at the point I played, I'm pretty sure it didn't matter, but there was still a chance we would pass that legend, so I played. And yeah, it was not a fun match.
No,
but I'm not going to get into the specifics because I want to ask Ron if he has anything he wants to say about this one.
He said no comment.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this was they really took it to us. So congrats to
did.
F2L. We hadn't lost all season, and we were holding the bye, and this was huge to determine who gets the bye. There was also a chance we could miss playoffs, but fortunately for us, sorry lads, through the season, so we got in. But
Thanks, chicken.
yeah, a 7-point week was pretty rough with a lot of important things on the line. Props to Eternal having a great season, taking down Saku in the 5. Mako, I think, maybe locked up Hero MVP with that victory. I know at the very least he has the highest game win rate in all of Hero series, and he's got the best record.
Well, let's not spoil PPR, which is coming in soon.
I mean, I didn't say anything about that. Naturally, I, of course, true to brand, I would have won Hero MVP for sure if I had beaten Based, so I went ahead and lost. But, F2L and Based, like, they all played extremely well. They did everything they needed to do, and now they're the top seed. So we're excited to try to get some measure of revenge in the playoffs.
Awesome. Any final thoughts about this match before we move into our final hero match of the night?
I would like to note that once Mako won his match versus Corridon, the only way it was like extremely hard for Dola to miss playoffs at that point. The only way Dola missed playoffs was if they got a combined 2 points across all the other matches, and it was close. And then Sorry Lads acquires the title also had to I think it was lose with 13 points or something like that. So that was unfortunately not going to happen.
Fair. Now, let's take a look at the other match because we've hinted at it quite a lot. We want to talk about Sorry Lads acquires the title facing Bad Legend. Chicken, tell us about what happened in that match.
If I have to, I suppose.
Well, we
Yeah,
want to
this is
talk about all matches that were born.
It is important to talk about it because you don't want to let this happen to you on your team. Yeah, we were in like a playoff spot going into the last week, and then we lost to Dad. It was basically a win and in because if we beat Dad Legend, they they were like in 4th place, and then if we beat Dad Legend, they couldn't pass us. So we were guaranteed a playoff spot, and we did a little not winning. Yeah, just like pretty unfortunate for us. I mean, pretty like insanely clutch performance by Dad Legend. Like getting all the way up to the 2nd seed. And yeah, like with us losing and only getting 9 points, we just like didn't really have the point cushion we needed. And so yeah, it ended up being just that we fell too far down, couldn't make our way back up. Even like by the time I got to play my match, it was the season was basically over at that point, which is a bit unfortunate, but I still played it out. Had a good match with Mickey 66, but yeah, it was a fun regular season. Unfortunate that it ended this way, but yeah, Teal felt quite competitive the whole season, and yeah, it ended up being very, very close.
We are quickly looking at this. Where I think a few of us in our own chat there at Dolo, just how tight the points race was between really the 4 teams. If you look at Sorry Lads all the way up to F2L Obsidian, we were like Ron had mentioned, we thought we had it in the bag with a couple wins, but yeah, didn't turn out that way.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like the last week, like Department of League-wide Administration. Well, is it mainly because like the top 4 teams were playing each other, right? So it made such a massive swing in the standings. Like Dola was in 1st place going into the last week and fell down to 3rd, which is pretty insane. And I think yeah, we were only in 3rd, but yeah, falling down to 4th there, and then Dad Legend moving all the way up to 2nd was pretty crazy.
Now, I want to ask here if let's say Uranium has any points he wants to comment about this one.
Okay. Yeah. Super Chicken ended the Mickey 66 swing. He started 0-2, then went 3-0, and then just lost this last one. And there were a lot of really dominant players showing off here. Unfortunately, Nine Eyebrows, who was 5-1, took a loss here. But Risen and Yellow Dart, both of them, are just on the cusp of being in the MVP discussion. But yeah, as we saw in the other match, that's where all the 6-1 players are. So, and then yeah, another point, of course, is just still large, diverse class brings here. We've got Warlock, we've got Warrior, still seeing DH here. So a lot of interesting strategies.
Sure. Any final thoughts anyone wants to share about this match before we move on to look at the standings and then look at playoff picture?
I think we're good.
All right. So to take a look at the standings here tonight and tell us kind of what is going to happen now, or not what is going to happen now, but who actually made the cut. Geranium, tell us, what do the numbers say?
Well, the numbers show Teal Conference led up at the top with F2L Obsidian, having hopped over the Department of League Administration and kept ahead of Dad Legend. They sit pretty with 118 points and the bye. Dad Legend also made a little hop to get to 114, getting to the top seed in Teal. And the Department of League Administration still stays in with 112 points, and unfortunately, Sorry Lads acquires the title. Always packing mana, and the Cult did not quite make it. But Sorry Lads acquires the title, does get the solace that they beat almost every team in purple. As we go over to purple, Ice Clown Citadel is at 119 points with the bye. Then Abusing PR Management at 103 and Late Bloomers close behind at 101. This means that Abusing PR Management will be facing Department of League Administration in the first round, and Late Bloomers will be facing Dad Legend. And then, of course, ET Yashraj, Another Pleasant Meeting, and F2L Black, unfortunately, did not quite make it. And they were pretty close right at the end.
That was such a tight week. Any comments anyone wants to share about Hero final standings before we move on to the playoffs? What are they looking like?
Let's see that special Marty graphic.
Let's move to the Marty graphic. So, this is what playoffs are looking like. We have Ice Clan Citadel facing the winner of I forget what that logo means, but Department of Win Administration versus which one is that logo? Anyone knows?
That's APR, PR management.
APM, yeah, abusing PR
Abusing
management.
PR management. Yes, there are two APM teams, so I never remember which is which. And then there's Dead Legend in the other side facing
Late Bloomers.
Late Bloomers.
Late Bloomers. Right. I cannot read that in Slav. Sorry. So we have quite the playoff race, starting with these two matches in the bottom. And what I want to ask you all, and I'm going to ask you to be succinct, but tell us what you really think, is who actually makes it? Who wins Hero? And there's in show notes, there's some Marty information if you want to use it. Marty very nicely gave us some hints on what his models thinks is going to be happening. So I'm going to start with you, Ron, as a very biased source. Who wins Hero?
Oh, of course. So, my not at all biased pick is my team wins Hero. I know you guys are very surprised, but I
Say that
will.
again, Ron?
I'll throw in an alternate pick of the team I think will win if my team doesn't, and go through selections. I think Dad Legend keeps on a roll and wins in the first round, but F2L beats them. I think Dola beats APM, and of course Dola all the way to the finals. But if we do not win, I've got Ice Clown Citadel taking the Hero Championship this season.
All right, Saku, who wins Hero?
I'm gonna say I want to say my team. So Dola goes all the way. I think we'll do well against APM this week, which then will give us on the ABC ICC matchup. And then out of the other side, I'd like a rematch with F2L. That's what I'd like to see. So Dola versus F2L, who would defeat Late Bloomers. I'll say Late Bloomers. So it'd be a Dola versus F2L. So acronym versus acronym, and Dola would win.
All right, Justin, I'm going to go to another biased person here. Justin, who wins?
I mean, I think Clowns are the best team on paper by a decent amount. I mean, they seem to just be able to win whatever they want to. That's just the best players. I mean, it was the same thing last season. Got through the finals and then just lost 1 week. Fluky. It's one match sample size, so they're not necessarily going to win, but it feels like theirs to lose again. Bit of a weird scenario in which I think the best 3 teams are all on the same side of the bracket. Like, I think Dad Legend, F2L, Obsidian, and Late Bloomers are all like the 3 worst teams, but just with the cross-conference scheduling. Not every team faced the exact same quality of opponents. So we'll see. The Neji and the Clowns, will they get back to finals? Will they win this time?
Fair. I want to ask Geranium, another biased source actually. Who wins here?
So all you Dola fans failed to recognize that Marty has given APM a 53% to win the match. That's basically 100%. And it's riding a lot on me 0-1 lifetime against Lotus Knight being 60% favored. So it's a lock, basically. And Hero is a solved format. APM will make finals as they do every season, and Justin will win Hero as he does every season. So that's the prediction. You'll see APM in the finals, losing to late bloomers.
Fair. That's fair. And last, but really the most credible source of answer to this question, Chicken, who wins Hero?
How accurate. I am the most credible source of information. And I say the late bloomers are going to beat Ice Clown Citadel in the finals. Neji will fraud it up in the finals once again. I actually think the late bloomer. I guess I do think late bloomers are best or second best team on paper. Out of the playoff teams here, Justin loves stinking it up in the regular season and then tryharding in playoffs. That's what he does. So the fact that they barely managed to squeak their way into playoffs is very on brand for a Justin team, and should not be surprising to anyone. And I think the fact that they have made playoffs at all means that they're just going to win everything. So yeah, I think that's what you should expect.
All right. Strong calls by everyone here, but I'm going to keep us going so we end on, well, we're not in yet. Let's be realistic. But so we end the show tonight at some point. So this is usually our longest show. I hope y'all enjoy it. So let's take a look at Hero PPR because this is the final Hero PPR. And our hero representative tonight is going to be Saku. Saku, tell me, who made Hero PPR?
I don't. You're gonna have to skip over me, man. I don't
No,
even
I
know where
sent
the
you by
hero
DM.
PPR is.
By DM.
A DM? Okay.
Quick aside while you're finding that
Oh,
to the pick from Super Chicken. Justin has won 3 consecutive hero
Yeah,
championships.
imagine betting against Justin.
So betting against Justin is a little iffy.
you got to be trolling.
It's just a 1-8. You just have to win 3 rounds in a row. I don't see what's so difficult. Just
The
hit
past-
1-8 3 times in a row.
there we go.
Like I said, Hero's a solved format. The past 3 seasons have all been APM and finals. Justin wins. It's not a question.
We'll see.
Start from the bottom. Who are our honorable mentions?
So I'm gonna start from the bottom, which is Ron Mexico. No, sorry, I'm joking, Ron. So we got number 15. We got in the honorable mentions. We got Sharmo coming in with a 3-3 record of 14-11 season there. 14th was Andy Rogers at 4-2 at 14-9. Venus Spumoni 4-3 at 17-11. We got Wild 9 4-3 at 17-13. And our very own Geranium Battle at 5-1 at 11th with 15-7. So those are honorable mentions. And coming in the ranks at number 10, always just in time at 4-2 with a 16-11 record. Yellow Dart at 9th at 5-2 with 18-10. Yo Daddy at 5-2 with 18-13 records. Marty B, aka NHL New Jersey Fan 1, coming in at 5-1, 16-7 records. Eternal having a great season with a 6-1 record, coming in 6th at 18-9 games. Then we got 5th place Risen, 5-2, 19-13 for games. And we got our very own R Hat at 6-1 with a 20-10 record. 3rd place, 2-star Mako, 6-1 with a 19-9 record. So that's amazing. And then we have Super Chicken with also a great record as well, with 6-1, 20-10. And then numero uno amigo with an ego, Ron Mexico, 6-1, 20-12 to finish off the Hero Series. Congrats to all the players listed.
I want to echo Saku's words and congratulate each and every one of the 15 players listed here. There's space for you next season. Just keep winning. Play hard, keep winning, and you will get there, I hope. Or Marty's algorithm is rigged. One of the two. If you have any complaints, as always, just flood Marty's inbox. He loves that kind of thing. So just do it.
Yep,
And
definitely rigged.
Don't just think about it. Do it, do it, do it.
Before you send off the complaints, though, wait till the later Marty content later in the show. You'll have more to complain about. It's Star List.
True.
for sure.
Smart.
So let's go straight into another list. Ron, as we move on from Hero, tell us who made Pro EU PPR.
All right. So for Pro EU PPR, starting from the bottom with our honorable mentions, we have Rami at 2-2, followed by Y the Hunter at 4-3, Pigeon at 4-3, Max VDP at 4-3, Brazuca in the 11th spot for honorable mention at 3-3. And then in our top 10, we've got Mata with a 4-3 record, 18-14. Fudov 4-2, 15-10. Jack Attack at number 8 at 5-2, 17-9. Donkey at number 7, 6-2, 19-10. Lasagna at number 6 with a 6-1 score, 18-8. And our top 5, all either one loss or undefeated. Palyuha, 6-1, 18-13. Connor at number 4 at 6-1, 18-9. Chewy at 6-1, 20-9. Itachi undefeated 7-0, 21-6. And Judgment also undefeated 7-0 with an 18-7 score. Congrats to all the Pro EU players. What a season.
Yeah, again, moving us quick, but I want to congratulate each and every one of the players who made it into PPR for Pro EU. Now, if you just hop onto Legacy, just go straight into the next series.
Do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, we got a jam-packed show. Keep it rolling.
Yeah, let's keep this going with Legacy, where we're going to start by looking at the Gold Conference, where Ron is going to talk to us about E.T. Cthulhu facing Dad Legend.
All right, so E.T. Cthulhu versus Dad Legend to finish off the week in gold. Starting from the top, we've got Chewy losing in a 1-3 to undefeated Based Inc. Shouldn't play very many games, but she's been a one-woman wrecking crew as a sub. Coming in fresh, I guess, while everyone else is tired of the meta, who knows? Next up in the 2 seed, we've got Trito 2, who also lost in a 5-game series to King Viking 23 for Dad Legend. But the rest of the matches went E.T. Cthulhu's way, as we've got Probe taking a 3-2 victory over Pescatarian in the 3, Lowbrow taking a 3-2 victory over Yellow Dart in the 4, and Eternal with the 3-1 victory over Haster in the 5. Very hard fought series here. Went the distance.
For sure. This was a very tight series. I thought it was a great one to feature from Gold. Justin, anything you want to add about E.T. Cthulhu facing Dad Legend?
Not really. Haven't been following Legacy this season. DT Cthulhu, I guess. See Chewy in the chat. Yay, he gets to play playoffs, I guess.
Justin's the hero player. We all know this. He only cares about winning a 4th hero title.
Yeah, I'm not involved in Legacy this season.
Fair. Chicken, do you have anything you want to add about this one?
Yeah, I actually have not looked at the entire playoff picture of Legacy. So did ET Cthulhu make playoffs with this win? Did they get the wild card spot?
They did, yeah.
They
This
did.
is super important to get the
Oh, okay, yeah.
points.
Yeah, so that is pretty crazy that both these teams made playoffs. And yeah, Dead Legend getting the 13 points in a loss is pretty huge because it still secured them the 2 seed in gold. So yeah, I mean, honestly, both of these teams showing up as at least as much as they needed to for this week. And yeah, they get to each at least play one more week of Legacy Series.
For sure. Any final thoughts anyone wants to share about E.T. Cthulhu facing Dead Legend before I move on to Red Conference? I forgot. We need to look at the standings. Ron, why don't you look at the gold standings for us? Tell us how gold ended.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So our 3 teams that made it from Legacy or from Gold Conference were Enact to the Future with the top seed, Dad Legend with the number 2 seed, which were the 2 guarantees, and then the at-large bids, no guarantees there, but ET Cthulhu did just enough with 104 points to get themselves into playoffs with 104. It was that close because the Cooler with 102 did not make playoffs, just behind them. And then, of course, the other APM team and W2 LTS are looking forward to next season.
Nice. So,
Considering who was on WLTS 0-7 record.
I
Good
mean,
bunch there. They
we don't want to rub it in.
No, it's just looking at the players on the roster. That's all. It's all about fun. Obviously, it's just one of those things.
It's also like a surprising amount of points per week for going 0-7. Like there must have been some very close weeks in there.
Very consistent 2-3 every week.
Like actually though, that is pretty tough because yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of like very marginal like match and game wins and stuff that just kind of didn't go their way. And yeah, I mean that's just Hearthstone.
Yep.
Sometimes you lose 7 coin flips in a row. and you go 0-7, and I don't know, maybe it was partially skill issue, partially bad luck, but it does happen.
And we knew Marty's girlfriend was filling in the 5, so she did very well for being a first-time Hearthstone player. Really, it's the first time she's playing the season, so
Just chalk it up to Marty being the captain and Hat playing in the 1. That's
yeah.
that's all you got to say for
Yeah.
the 07 season.
Yeah.
Go next. Get rid of Marty and get rid of Hat, and you'll be fine.
So
all right. So, with this in mind, let's take a look at Red Conference. There's still so much stuff to talk about in Red. Red Conference, we're featuring the match of F2L White versus Defias because this was actually a very major match when looking at the final standings. Geranium, why was this a very major match? And what happened to him?
So F2L White won versus Defias, and despite Defias coming in with a 2-2-2 record to the week, it was actually basically a win and in to playoffs. As we'll see in the standings a little bit later, F2L White gaining 6 points over Defias here. If instead Defias gained the 3 points for winning the week plus, however many, they would have actually made it in over F2L White. So, going through, Ree Bobson taking the win in Game 5 over Wild 9. Myanodon getting 2nd win in a row here and winning Player of the Week by getting a Game 4 over Classy Thug. 2-star Mako still dominating in both series here with a sweep over Neb Canuck. The Real Lore keeping it close with a sweep over Gimme Lamp. And then My Curse with a similarly high potential here. Game 5 win over Totino's Pizza.
All right. And I want to ask Saku if you have any comments about this series.
Other than my Anadon's usually pretty good at Hearthstone in general, but see him at 2-5. He was telling me on Sunday stream just past that it was a hard season for him. So glad he got kind of climbed up a couple games to finish off the season with some wins. It always makes you feel better. So, as for the rest of the season, it was pretty tight by the looks of the points wise for Red Conference. So
That is true. Anyone has any final comments about Red before we move on to look at the Red standings?
Yeah, congrats to F2L White. You get to play the second seeded team now.
Hooray.
Who's that?
Chicken team.
Indeed,
Ooh.
Max. Wow, maybe we should look at the Silver Conference and find out.
We're getting there really soon.
Almost there.
But let's take a look at the Red standings with this, all that we're talking about. Geranium, what are the standings for Red here?
So at the tippy top there is Clownstoners, locked in the top seed with 122 points. We'll see what second seed got for points in a second here. Copa Keepers, 113. And F2L White with 107 points snatches up the other wild card position here. And then below them, Defias at 97, Vanish Ventures 76, Hero Power Button Pressers 71. Had some winning weeks to their name, and hopefully they'll have some more winning weeks in future seasons.
All right. Any final thoughts about Red before we move on to Silver Conference? Okay, so
Oh, sure.
moving on to Silver. Silver is where we have the other team that got a very high number of points and basically made the 2 seed after the Clowns. So, with this in mind, I want to ask, let me sure I have the right person. On Saku, actually, to tell us about the Rats of Average Size facing the Hot Zilfs.
So we got Rats of Average Size versus Hot Sylphs this week. Both teams finished off with a 12-12 tie. So with Seth coming in with a 3-0 win over Astrofrog or Astropog in certain circles. Gravity Cat losing to a sub in Starlax with 2-3. We got Superhero. She beat Donde 3-0. Tom Carter coming in with unfortunately a goose egg versus Chronix, 0-3 loss there, and then Judo Chop with a 3-2 loss to Jim Phillips. So a very experienced Hot Zilfs team, not having the greatest season with a 1-5-1 record, but you know they held their own versus the Rats of Average Size. So Seth with a great record there at 6-1, and Superhero with a 6-1 record. While the rest of the team was just trying to get as many points as where they can and how they could. So we all know Legacy is pretty competitive from a player standpoint. So yeah,
I mean,
that
there's
is
really
those
going
results.
here just something really, really close. The Rats of Average Size barely missed playoffs. They were going to be one of the wild cards. Ron, what do you think? Anything you want to mention about this?
Yeah, this was just a huge performance to play Gatekeeper by Hot Zilfs, a team with a lot of pride. They've won a legacy championship before, and they had a rough season, but they never quit. and
Yep.
they grabbed Starlax in the 2, I think, which was the last game that was being played. And Starlax did just enough to get that victory, causing a tie instead of a win for Rats of Average Size. And I believe that is the difference maker that put E.T. Cthulhu into the playoffs instead of the Rats. So very unfortunate for Seth and for Superhero, who had incredible seasons, but the rest of the team just couldn't quite get there by the smallest of margins. And that's kind of what makes these seasons so exciting. Like, even when your team is out and you technically have nothing to play for, you can stop someone else from getting playoffs, and that's not nothing.
Yep. Ruin somebody else's party.
Now,
And
speaking
then-
of ruined party, Saku, what are the standings for Silver looking like after this match?
Let's see. I have to focus my glasses here. I'm trying to see what the number 1 team was in the conference with 120 points. It's just so many letters and so many.
Oh, we just call that chicken team.
Oh,
Yes,
chicken team. Okay. So we got 23 format best of 5 with 1-band competitors at number 1 spot with 120 points with 6-1 records. We got STDs with a 115 points to the season with 5-2 records. Average Rats of Average Size at 101 with 3-3-1 record. The Stubs at 84 points, 2-5 records. Got Justin, 80 points, 2-5 record, and then Hot Sylphs filling in at 76 points, 1-5-1 record. So, yeah. So STD trying to make their climb. And S23 without the S, doing their thing.
Who removed the S? Who was it?
Somebody's
I blame Lotus.
yeah.
It doesn't
Actually-
actually fit. That's a
To
problem.
be honest,
It's not.
I blame Chicken. I don't actually blame Lotus. I blame Chicken. The name is
Who
too
made
long.
this stupid standings page?
Who could have possibly come
I mean,
up with
really,
such
we
a
should
name?
be casting blame onto the board members, and specifically the ones
Oh.
ahead of content who approved such a long
agree.
name. It makes it
Yeah,
so
just-
That's a
difficult
good
for the
point.
content fans.
Just send us an email at help at teamheartleague.com.
I vow to make next season's team name less legible.
Oh no.
Is yours going to be in Thai as well?
Yeah, I was about to say, will it be in a foreign script?
You shall see.
Season
Yeah.
24 format, but in Cyrillic.
I think my main goal has been to recruit more players to my team who can help make the team name worse. And I think with Turtle, I have done that.
Fair. At least we don't have Bank UE fan club again, because that was a tough one for content. But speaking of content, any final thoughts on Silver before we move on to Legacy PPR?
Let's do
That's
it.
a big negative on that particular.
Okay, so Justin, tell us who made Legacy PPR starting from the bottom.
Pull up my messages with you. From the bottom, but first we have the honorable mentions of Rabobson, Molstar, some Lotus himself, 2-star Mako, honorable mention at 6-1. I wonder what. I wonder about that one.
He didn't do enough,
Dabs, the final of the honorable mentions. Making way for the true top 10 winners to be Lemur, Seth, Superhero, Neji, Tab, Mike Hurst, Memnarch, Bone Masher, Ron Mexico, and then number 1 at 6-0, only undefeated player in Legacy, Copa.
Cabana.
18-4 game score for Copa too. What a season.
Yeah, not just winning, but like
Absolutely
sweeping a lot.
dominating.
Destroy.
More games than losses, more matches than losses. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Was everyone forgetting to ban his shaman or what?
I don't know. Is he still
I think
in the
is he
chat?
could only play Shaman once.
Yeah, it's not even like Hero where he could sweep on it. He has
It's
to
true.
allegedly get wins with other decks.
It's crazy. I thought he only played shaman.
Do Do you think maybe his opponents allowed him to queue wild and do shutter or something?
Probably.
Maybe.
Maybe his opponents just like 6 times in a row messed up the brand screenshot and only left themselves with 2 playable decks.
Shaman Hunter.
Oh wait, but even then, 4-game losses would not be much. Even if his opponents could only 2-3 at best every match, they were not getting to 2.
Nope.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Any final comments anyone wants to share about Legacy PPR before we move on to Wild?
Mako, future MVP of Hero, possibly, does exactly as well in Legacy, and not even in top 10. You hate to see it.
He's a meh. It's Mako.
Yeah, we always gatekeep Mako.
Now, let's move on to Wild because there's still a really fun series and quite the bunch making this top 10. Chicken, who made Wild PPR?
I do love talking about Wild. So here
about
we
Wild.
go. With our honorable mentions, we have Ribobson, Schmoopy Daddy, Memnarch, Yo Daddy, and OTZ. And then rounding out our top 10, we have X-Tuliop, Corbett, Maxibon, Devalian, Magic the Gathering Squirrel, Tiger Eye, Reno Jackson himself, and then our 3 undefeated players, Lorthos at 6-0, Waluigi Time at 7-0, and Seth at 7-0 with a 21-9 game score. So congrats to everyone who made the Wild PPR.
Yeah, congratulations to each and every one of these players. Just a fantastic crew. So
Yeah,
we're not
big
gonna
shout out to Seth, by the way, too, who
Yeah.
I think dominated in like every single season or every single series. Pretty sure he
did
came
they win crossover
second.
with a dominating performance? Like who possibly could be better than that? 17
I don't know.
on
I don't
aggregate
know.
match score,
Let's not check.
winning record in all 3 series he played in. I mean,
It's
it
probably
would have to be rigged if he were not number 1.
I think it's rigged. He probably at least did good enough for second. Let's move on.
Let's take this time to move to our main screen where we have the moment you were all waiting for.
Oh.
Lotus. Before we do that, we should probably have done something with Legacy. Maybe a little bit of playoffs talking.
We never looked at the bracket, did we?
True.
I just realized I
True,
forgot
that
to
would
go
be
to the
good.
bracket.
Yeah,
Nah.
just the interplay between check and PPR and the other thing. We don't want to throw away Marty's hard work though on the bracket.
Oh no, the bracket looks great, and there's so much. I kind of want to see who you all think is going to win. It's just there's so much content today that I forgot about this one, but we should definitely do that. Let's go to our bracket, where I want to say quickly we have the Clown Soners, I believe, facing ET Cthulhu, STD facing
Copa Keepers.
Copa Keepers, F2L facing the Season 23 Legacy Chicken team, and
Say it in full,
and
Lotus. Come on. Chicken will get pissed off if you don't say it in full.
I paid good money to join this
See?
league. The least you can do is name my team.
it's the Season 23 Conquest Best of 5 participants with one band, something. I do not know the whole thing, but we also have a
Join the
Knack to
dark side.
Future and Dead Legend making our final match. This is all putting out for such a crazy playoff race. And I want to ask you all, who wins Legacy? So this time, I'm going to start with Justin. Justin, who wins Legacy?
It's just dawning on me, having not followed Legacy this season, that the Clowns are probably the best team on paper in like all the standard NA series. Because yeah, I mean they're the reigning champs. Somehow are just as strong this year, reloading. Yeah, they have to be the favorites. I mean, only one other team you could name would be the reigning finalists, which would be season 23 format best of 5 with 1-ban competitors. So would not be shocked to see a rematch again of those two in finals. Certainly, yeah, I guess both teams move from strength to strength. Some of the pickups they got. Season 23 team, most notably losing maybe the best 2 seed in the league, and Izzat, and replacing him with one of the 2 seeds, Turtle. Well, at least he's not in the 3 seed. So, but
He is
rest of the
sometimes a
team-
2 seed.
The rest of the team's strong enough to carry him, especially the bottom 2 of Tab and Kitten are going to be a formidable 4-5 for any team to face each week. And Chicken in the 1 seed has enough practice going against bad players that he can beat all of his opponents there too somehow.
Fair call. Geranium, who wins Legacy?
Ooh, so I think that the hungriest team out of these is probably a knock. I think a knock's structure is also extremely good. Just top to bottom. Who's a little bit untested, but who cares? And then I think on the other side in finals, it's probably going to be Copa Keepers. Copa Keepers defeated Clownstoners in the main season. Also has an extremely stacked lineup. You saw Copa leading the very top of PPR because he's a 4 seed. How do they fit Copa in the 4 seed? It's illegal. I said it in the pre-series. So I think it's going to be Copa Keepers versus a knock to the future in finals, and I think a knock's going to win that. That's my prediction.
Fair. Saku, who wins Legacy?
Well, the players or the teams that we end up playing against are going to need a little bit of help with some medication. Because I'm just going to say STD is going to go all the way. We got Mr. Memnarch, who's just been killing it. His only defeat in 15 games was just last week. So I think he'll be back on track. We got Dr. Bombed. We got Sheep, who just had a wee one just recently. So congrats to Sheep. And then we got Risen and then myself. So I think we got a pretty strong team that's going to be competitive with the group that we're matched up in. Be good to see us go up against Dad Legend for the finals and for us to win it. So makes no sense, but that's my version.
No, all calls here. These are all great teams. So we all know anything is possible. We've seen so many insane upsets, and I wouldn't even call an upset. All of these teams are amazing. But Chicken, if you had to make a call between these amazing teams, which one would you call?
Yeah, I mean, I think like Justin mentioned, like on paper, the likely finals we will have is a rematch from last season. I think on paper, both teams have maybe gotten slightly worse, but haven't really performed worse. I guess the Clowns had a bigger lead in the regular season last season, and I think we finished similarly this season. But yeah, I think there's a lot of I think this season as opposed to last, there's a lot more competitive teams that can like actually challenge these top 2 teams. I think an Act to the Future's really strong and could make a run as well. I think I think a lot of these teams are just really strong, but I will still say that we will see a rematch of last season in the finals. Not gonna say who's gonna win because whoever I predict is gonna be a little bit biased. But yeah, no, I think we have a very interesting legacy playoffs on our hands.
Fair. And Ron, last but certainly not least, who wins Legacy?
Yeah, I mean, sticking with the bias theme, I have 3 teams in playoffs this season, and I'm just going to pick all 3 of them to be champions. Probably won't happen, but here I am picking it anyway. Um, I'm surprised that we got a non-biased pick from Geranium Battle, though, picking an Act of the Future to win, so that's exciting. But best team on paper, I have to agree with Justin, is the Clownstoners. They look like the strongest. I think they make the finals, and because I'm biased, I'm picking my team to make the finals and beat them.
Fair, fair. Thank you all for your thoughts. We're still going to talk about Pro, so stick around as we get to Pro after our commercial break, where Saku is going to tell us what everyone is looking for here. Tell us,
Oh,
Saku,
yeah. The
how
whole
can you
commercial
help
break.
team?
Just let me shake it off here. Hold on a sec. Got to get myself ready. Get myself pumped up. Yo, yo, yo. Hey there, Twitch viewers. Have you subscribed to Team Hearth Fatigue? Bet. Then Mako today, how does this make sense? But then Mako today, the day to a big A league. EU yourself and subscribe to our flannel. Yes, that's right, flannel. It is wintertime, so get your flannel on. This scrub subscription, jeez, enables the THL team to help cover the various losses of the Cope It Up berating our DAB site, that's DAB, as well as improving the quality of our creams and rotent to our viewers. That's you, the viewers. If you have AP Amazon Prime, I messed that one up. So AP Amazon Prime / Twitch Prime, you can subscribe who? The channel for free. So this is really messing me up. So you guys did a good job. Subscribers will get a THL emoticon as well as the THL chat badge. So hit them thumbs down button and keep them notification bing bong to make surely you don't catch our team Batchiest Bing live. We appreciate each and every one of you homies. Chill our viewers, shill out to thrill out. THL's truth social media disappoints of the batchiest or batchest. That just comes across as biatchist. But anyway, Webkite, our website, or Webkite in this particular instance, Team Hearth League .bomb. Catch us on Twister at THLHS or underscore HS. Join us on Discord, Team D Earth Vader League. So that's Team D Earth Vader League. Face us on Hearthstone at --Saku. Well, that's just me in particular. So Saku at 1699. And slide into our DMs on Tinder at Team Get at that Hearth League .com. Is that right? Or is it C? Never mind. I won't put that on there. the true Hearth legends, Saku and Father 420, continue to roast all our videos on YouTube. On YouTube channel. And our true Hearth legends themselves, Ron McTexico and Continue Hose, to post all our Zero Championship banners on our THL website. Just search for the Team Hearth scope to see everything previously recorded. But who asked? You are enjoying our Twitch channel at twitch.tv at Team Hearth League, or possibly on our YouTube channel in the future. And for all of you THL fans out there, there were sometimes THL shows every single most days of the week. So we used to have it every day of the week. Now it's kind of toned it down. So you can't crung tube. What kind of word is that? You can't go tubing at anytime for some Hearthscopium related content. Now back to the doomed part. Ka-chow. Then links, website, THR, blah, 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 blah.
That
But thank you for coming to our show.
That
Thanks
was
for watching me wave
amazing.
my hands around. How you
Incredible
doing?
job, Saku. Incredible job.
Yeah.
Tried to
That
crank
was
it up, but
probably the most cursed it's been.
Yeah, I think we've surpassed. Last season was really bad. I think we've surpassed it. I don't know. I feel like it's gotten to the point. I mean, Neji is listening, so Neji, you have any thoughts? I'm sure Chicken, Geranium, Ron can also talk to how corrupted this is at this point. But it will get worse. There's still a few weeks before the season ends, so we'll make it worse if possible. Now, let's
appreciate
go
the
on to
challenge, and I thank you all for making this an entertaining commercial. I would watch again. 10 out of 10.
That's exactly what we're here for. Just a fun commercial and give everyone some information in the meanwhile. But
100%.
let's go take a look at Pro because there's still one series to go tonight, and it's a hot one. So we're going to start by looking at Sushi Rats facing ET Yogg-Saron. And I want to call Always just in time to talk to us about this one.
Sure. I was not looking at. But was this like a win and in for playoffs or something? I know that conference was pretty close.
Yep, this was a win in it.
Yeah. I guess Sushi Rats won. Congrats, Rats. This is they all go to Miami University of Ohio team. So it has now been conclusively proven that Miami is better than Michigan with Big W Esports on the bottom of the table. And obviously as well, E.T. Yogg-Saron, captained by Trita, who goes to UIUC. I don't think anyone else on the team are fellow UIUC members, but a team of all people from one school were able to take down a assembled team of extraterrestrials, I guess, to lock up that playoff spot. So well done. I know Higgett's been subbing in other series as well, has previously been a THL player. And Nightshade is someone who I'm familiar with too, quite a decent player. I think Scott Jones is new to the school, and Tonker and Griff doing well for themselves as well. I think they've played as a team in the past and gotten shellacked a lot worse than this. So that's showing not everyone needs to win. Some people just need to have fun and try to improve season over season, and that seems to be what they've done here. So congrats to them. Is Gimme Lamp still in the chat? Do you want to talk about this one? I know you said before not to focus on your performance in Legacy for F2L, but is this the one that you want us to avert our attention to?
Oh no.
Maybe not this one either, but.
So, for this match, I actually want to ask Ron if you have any comments here.
I think Justin said it best with Grats Rats. I like that. They needed the win to get into playoffs, and they did that and then some, with 4 of their 5 players taking down victories. Only 2 of those wins went to 5 games. They had 2 sweeps. So it looked like they were fired up and ready to make it in. They went in with a lot of spell DH and some priest, a boon priest and a couple control priests. So some interesting lineups. It'll be exciting to see how they do in the next round, which I believe is against my team. So that'll be cool.
Also interesting to note is that Scott Jones previously went by the in-game name of Priest User. So, living up to his previous name, I guess.
And he jumped back up to the 1 seed, which means he's my opponent. So the perfect person for me to play against. Priest User. Yes, everything I like.
Counter him with Priest, Ron. You could do it.
I would also like to note that there are 2 other rogues on this screen. Other rogue in this case is still Thief Rogue. I don't know why it's classified as other.
Okay. So, any further points about Sushi Rats versus ET Dog before we move into our second pro match of the night. Okay, so Ron, I want to talk about something everyone asked last week. Everyone wanted a 2-5 team to make playoffs. Can you tell us about a perfect 10 Murloc facing Big W Esports?
Well, I guess it was fated in some way that a 2-5 team made playoffs because we had a perfect 10 Murloc coming into this match against Big W Esports. They were 1-5. And I believe Bone Masher called it in the chat too last week when he was saying, it's gonna happen. Perfect 10 is gonna make it as 2-5, and what do you know? They did. Starting in the 1 seed, Chewy taking it down 3-1 over Luke McMack. In the 2, they got a sweep from Yo Daddy over Disagreement. A 5-game loss from Corden in the 3 to Nice King. A sweep victory from Sub Laughing Frog, I guess Perma Sub Laughing Frog, taking a big win over L Bomb 25 in the 4, and Bone Masher himself leading from behind with an 0-3 loss after calling it that his team was going to make it into the playoffs. Trying to guarantee, I think, that he did as little as possible himself to just pass on the credit to the team. That's good captaining right there, because they took it down 14-9 and they made playoffs, and now it's a brand new season. Who cares if they're 2-5? They can win the title.
For sure. For sure. Daku, anything you want to comment about a perfect 10 Murloc versus Big W Esports?
Nothing more than what Ron's already kind of added. So I think Bone Masher is probably turning his name into Bone Poggers, maybe, for predicting to get into the playoffs. Yeah, I'll say that.
Before you move on, I would like to note that this agreement may have brought some fraudulent decks. You can see XL Highlander, Questline, Warlock, but what that Control Warrior doesn't tell you is that that's Quest Warrior. That's XL Quest Warrior. So, and then Ping Mage is Casino Mage. So this is this is
Spicy.
Did,
definitely a
however, get
lineup.
his other rogue to be banned, so
Yeah.
that deck gotta win. Basically, it got banned. That's close enough to a win.
Fortunately, these are not being featured on Deck of the Week. Sad.
All right. Ron, taking this match into account, what does Black Conference look like?
All right, so our playoffs, we were going to have a total of 8 teams making playoffs, 4 from each conference. We already had 2 at the top that had locked it up prior to this week, so they played meaningless games, and that was Punish Shed Ape and Brushy Tuna. Shed Ape at 131, Brushy Tuna finishing at 126 for the 1 and 2 seeds. Sushi Rats, as we saw in the previous highlighted match, got the 3 seed locked up with 98 points, and a perfect 10 Murloc doing just enough in this match to get the 4 seed at 94 points. Behind them, the teams that missed playoffs just by a little bit, Swagoi, ET Yogg-Saron, Frog Champs, and Big W Esports. Hopefully will be returning next season to get another crack at playoffs. And there's Black Conference for you.
All right. Any final thoughts about the Black Conference before we move on to the Pink Conference?
We Gucci.
Okay, so let's move on to Pink, where we're going to open Pink focusing on a great match, actually. We're going to talk about APM versus Big Death Knight Energy. And Geranium, why don't you tell us how your team did in that match?
Of course, APM this side managed to take a 15-10 win. Before my match, it was 11-9, and I was almost going to no contest just so but it turned out that me winning was just what we needed to get a higher seed. So I did end up playing it out and got the 3-1 over Donde. For the rest of my team though, Sarlax won a 3-1 in game 4 over Jammies. Yfair brought possibly just the most favored lineup possible here, but still lost 1-3 to Dankestad. Interval got the game 5 win over Vino Spumoni, and KSW took the sweep over Justbean in the 5 there, and we ended up making playoffs 3rd position.
Nice.
There's no justice in these names. Arthas Peter Menethil is objectively the worst APM name, and Activision Printing Money is objectively the best. And Activision Printing Money missed playoffs, and Arthas Peter Menethil made playoffs. I'm in shambles.
Look at our logo. Look at Arthas Peter Menethil's logo and tell me again, huh? The stuff of champions.
It is a terrible name. Has to be said.
Love that.
That was a stretch. Yeah. So APM stretch.
Personally, I've been a big fan of Another Pleasant Meeting because of their amazing logo. But I think they missed Hero playoffs as well. Which is
They did.
they did. Yeah, that is such a crime. That's tough. Yeah, they were in the playoff picture for a bit there, but yeah, fell in the last week. So the good APM teams have fallen out of playoffs, and there is no justice.
All right. So I want to ask someone for comments here. Justin, anything you want to say about this match?
Not really.
Okay. So, moving us on to our final match of the night that we're going to talk about, we have XD facing CMU. Chicken, how did XD actually make it? Tell us about their match.
Yeah, another match between two teams kind of on the cusp of playoffs. Pretty much a winner in for either team here. As it looks like they were very tight in points beforehand, and yeah, XD got the win very convincingly, and basically just willed themselves into a playoff spot. The wild players proving that they're better than the standard players once again, and yeah, everyone except for the sub. I can't even read that name. Lowbrow, low ladder. I guess
I think it's just
is the name.
lowbrow ladder. I think they put an extra low in there.
Oh, okay.
Low. Yeah.
But anyway, even still getting the 2 points in that loss, giving them 21 points to win the week and lock them up for playoffs, almost getting the 3 seed over APM. But yeah, pretty crazy end to the season for Pink Conference. XD being out of a playoff spot for a lot of the season, just kind of sneaking in at the end. And their reward for for making playoffs is they get to play against the 131-point Punished Ape team. So, good luck to them. But they have been performing a lot better as of late. So, a team that's playing hot versus a team that's been playing well the whole season should be a good matchup.
For sure. Geranium, anything you want to share about this match?
Yeah, I mean, this was another win and in. These two teams started actually with Cheesemongers United on top at the beginning of the week. And yeah, I mean, if Cheesemongers United had simply just won a couple more of these matches, it would have gone the other way. In this case, I see, I think, just the aggro druids from Zarel's Disciples putting in a lot of work, even getting a ban from Wild 9 there. And, not seeing aggro druid almost anywhere else is pretty crazy. Also seeing just a lot of DK in this match.
Finally got what Blizzard wanted with Death Knight everywhere.
Yeah, you just see a lot of DK there.
So, any final thoughts about this match before we move on to the Pink Conference standings? All right, so Chicken, how did Pink Conference end?
Yeah, as it's been for most of the season, the Pink Conference has been a little more well-rounded than Black Conference. And yeah, F2L did end the season at the top with 127 points. Then right below them, we have Chicken is down just in time to Clown at 124. Then the two third and fourth place teams, APM and XD, at 107 and 106 points respectively. And that's all the teams in pink that made playoffs. And unfortunately, the teams that did not make playoffs are CMU at 97 points, Big Death Knight Energy at 91, OPP at 77, and Zymox and Chill at 68.
Well, I want to congratulate F2L. Chicken is down just in time to Clown, APM, and Cyril's Disciples, as well as all other teams that made playoffs today, because this was such a tough season, as always, in Pro and in series we talked about today. So congratulations if your team made it, and try again next year if you didn't. Who knows? Or next season. Still a few or many seasons to go. So there's still a lot to do, and one day you'll get there. Trust me. So let's take a look at the playoff picture, taking everything we said into account. We have Shade facing it's way too hard to remember all the team names, so I'm going to try my best, but I think it is Shade facing XD. No.
No, that's Perfect 10 Murloc.
Perfect 10 Murloc, right. So Shade facing a Perfect 10 Murloc. We have F2L facing XD. We have Brushy Tuna facing Sushi Rats. We have Chicken is down just in time to Clown facing Arthas, Peter Menethil, aka the not great APM name team, but who is performing very well. And as I did every single time, I want to ask you all, who is going to win Pro Series? I'm going to start with Chicken here. Who wins Pro Series?
Yeah, once again, Neji getting carried to another championship, perhaps, has recruited 4 players that are much better than him in Hearthstone. He will have to do nothing. I think the semis versus Punished Ape are going to be very, very interesting. They're a team that's really annoying to prep against. And historically, teams I've been on have gotten the better of them, but it does feel like a bit of a coin flip very, very often, and they're very tricky to play against. And then on the other side of the bracket, Brushy Tuna's had such a strong regular season, as they usually do. But yeah, it is going to be interesting to see. I think we might have another clown team versus Tuna finals again, because we haven't had enough of those. We've only seen that matchup. Well, I guess 2 seasons ago it wasn't in the finals; it was in the first round, but it did somewhat decide the championship anyways, because this team has won it 2 years in a row. So I'm gonna make the boring prediction and say that we will beat Brushy Tuna in the finals again.
Fair. Saku, who
Yes.
thinks, who wins pro?
Well, unfortunately, I would love to see the one of the APM teams on the pink conference, but that would have been interesting to have APM action. But yeah, I'd have to agree with Chicken. I could definitely see Punished Ape and the Clown team being in the semifinals there in Black Conference with Brushy Tuna and XD. And with that would be the Brushy Tuna versus the Clown group. I'm crossing my fingers that Ron is going to pull through because it's going to be the final game of the the season for the playoffs, and Ron will win it for his team. I got confidence in you, buddy.
Oh, thanks, Saku.
So, taking that confidence into account, Ron, are you doubling down that Brushy Tuna wins this one?
Oh, absolutely. As I said before, I'm going to be super biased in all of my picks. I had 3 teams make playoffs this season, and I'm picking all of them to win titles. Surely one of them gets there, right? I hope it's this one. Pro's the one I want the most. Um, I mean, my team has McBanterface and Pocket Train now, and then we also have 3 scrubs in me, Lotus, and Hat. But surely, Banter and Pocket are enough to carry us there, and one of us can find a victory in the crucial one. I kind of have the same prediction as Chicken. It's going to be a Clown team versus Brushy Tuna, and I'm saying this time we get our revenge, and Tuna takes it down.
All right. Now there's still 2 people to go here. Justin, who wins pro?
I mean, Ron, you can cope it up. You wouldn't have gotten more poetic than last season. 5 simultaneous matches on stream, but one of them is delayed. Our Hat, the commissioner, to win it in the final game, loses. It didn't happen then. It wasn't meant to be. I'm rooting for my favorite team, Shed Ape. They're going to take it home. Do not roll over into the apes.
Yeah.
Apes together strong.
There are not quad old god lineups to bring anymore. But no, like I don't care. I would rather face Pocket Train. I would rather face McBanterface than the fear, the pure primal terror I get when I face a Shed Ape team.
You know, after Chicken saying apes together strong, can I change my pick? It might just be Shed
The
Ape. I
ape is
think it's
back.
Shed
It is in its shed. Ugh. Yeah, I don't want to face them. I simply do not. Have you seen the kind of lineups Heat Shock is bringing this season? They're in vintage form. I do not want to face them.
That's fair. Fair. So last person to say is Geranium, actually. I'm pretty sure Geranium hasn't said it. So Geranium, who wins pro?
Okay, well, I'll start with my spicy take, which is my favorite pro team, as always. XD gets a little bit of upsetting going on and upsets a few of the people on this very show by getting to finals over F12 and Brushy Tuna. And then I think on the other side, it is going to be Shed Ape versus Chicken is down, but the For the Boys team in a 6-set meta never loses. And so Chicken is down just in time to Clown is going to take it over both Shed Ape and XD to win the pro playoffs for Justin's 10th title.
The For the Boys team is definitely not this one. I don't think anyway. It's the
Chicken's
Dabs and
here.
Diamond are on
Chicken's here.
F12.
Chicken is here.
Of the boys, there's 2 on F12, 1 on Clowns.
For the boy this time.
Okay, well, I guess the other 3 boys will be disappointed.
So with this, let me move us into Pro PPR, the final PPR for Pro. Reminder, next week we only have one PPR. We only have Wild because Wild Series, surprisingly, isn't over yet. So let's take a look at Pro PPR, and the person who's taking us through it is Geranium Battle. Geranium, who made top 15 in Pro?
Well, the first honorable mention is going to be Pyro Llama with a 4-2, 15 and 11 game score. Agranier from Shed Ape is 4-0 and is 12-4 game score. Dabs is 5-2, 19 and 12 game score. Ariana 20, still here, not playing, 4-1, 13 and 8 game score. Lambie series is 5-1 with a 16 and 9 game score. Chewy is the first member of the top 10, 5-1, 17 and 6. Ron Mexico, no longer undefeated, is now 9th, 6-1, 18 and 9 game score. McBannerface overtakes him, 6-1, 19 and 7 game score. Typhoon from Shed Ape is 7th, 6-1, 19 and 8 game score. Heat Shock from Shed Ape is 6th, 6-1, 19 and 10 game score. Agent TWE is 5th place, 6-1, 19 and 12 game score. I'm just gonna keep saying 6-1, guys. 4th place is Lasagna, 6-1, 19 and 11 game score. Neji Boston is 6-1, 20 and 10 game score. Pookie Monst is 6-1 with a 20 and 9 game score. And then at the very tippy top, this is his PPR list. It is Marty B, 6-1, 20 and 11 game score.
Get that rigged in chat. Let's go.
Rigged. Totally rigged.
Juan loses 8 spots.
Yeah, I was literally number 1 undefeated all season long, and then I lose to the number 2 guy, and they're like, "Nope, you're 9th." Like, damn, okay. Jeez.
Well, if you disagree with this PPR, remember flood Marty's DMs. Just get him going. He'll be very happy to wake up with 50 DMs, I'm sure. Going to just be
He
full
does
of love
enjoy
and
that.
friends. So I'm bringing us back
Junior-
to our main screen. We had quite the show. We have a checkout question to end. We're a bit late, but we all knew it was happening tonight. It's our special kind of end of regular season. So my question for you all is: we all know the mini sets coming soon. What archetype do you expect to be featured? Get a card to be a key archetype, something you're looking forward to seeing, or in general, something you would like to see. And I'm going to start with Saku here. Saku, thank you so much for being here tonight. Congratulations on the new board member position. So my question for you is, what archetype do you want to see?
More priest. Who doesn't want to see more priest? I have no idea what's going on with the mini set because I didn't follow up on that.
There's no information yet.
But
Just speculating.
yeah, I'm tired of being run over by other classes such as Paladin and DK and Mage and Shaman and what's the other one? Oh, Demon Hunter. There we go. So yeah, let's go with Priest. Let's just do the Priest thing.
All right, Saku asking for more blessed free support. Maybe another radiant elemental.
There you go. 3 radiant elementals. Just break the deck.
Ron, what archetype do you want to see supported? And I want to thank you for being here tonight, as always, and congratulate you one more time on your board member position.
Thank you. Glad to be here as always, and for mini set, I'm kind of hoping for the first ever Rainbow DK card. I want to see Rainbow DK support, so I want to see a triple ruined, like, or one of each. That's the restriction for that deck. A card that has a blood and a frost and an unholy as a requirement on it. That would be sweet. Give us some Rainbow DK support.
Nice. And Uranium, what kind of archetype do you want us to support with this expansion? Thank you so much for being here tonight, as always.
Thank you for having me. Hope to continue this next week. And I think Blizzard cannot help themselves. I think that Blizzard will be printing another Totem Shaman support card, and I think this one is going to still be unplayable. In fact, I think, Totem Shaman's supposed to be sort of like an aggressive thing, so it's probably going to be like Battlecry, give totems for the next, either the next 3 turns or even the rest of the game, taunt. And that's going to be really, really good. So good for them.
We'll see play an even shaman.
No, it'll be an odd card.
Fair. And Chicken, thank you so much for being here tonight. What archetype do you think they're going to give some help here? Is it finally going to be the return of the beloved mech paladin?
Okay, well, maybe they will print some support for Mech Paladin. Mech Paladin saw a lot of support in Sunken City, and then kind of was forgotten about. So perhaps we will, and that would make me a bit happy. I don't really expect it to be, but I think it would be very funny if they did that. So yeah, let's say Mech Paladin gets some support.
Fair. And Justin, what do you think is going to get some support? Any archetype you feel like would be really cool to give it some support, come back, maybe something new?
I mean, Ron Mexico just had his best regular season ever, of all time, ever. Thanks in large part to, I mean, it was basically a Ron meta. Priest nowhere in sight, Hunter and DH like tier 1 for most of the time. So I'm hoping for a big meta 180. I'm with Saku. We need lots of Priest. We need people to forget about Lucy. They're gonna power creep the heck out of Priest so much. Lucia will be a thing of the past. It will be unparalleled, unmatched with the amount they push Priest here. And Hunter and DH, they'll just like skip even giving them cards this time, just to give Priest more.
Thank you,
Also, they
Justin.
have new opportunity here with the archetyping of DK, so they'll invent a new rune to make it just like the scam, the priest style class, so that you can submit priest twice basically instead of just once. That's my prediction.
Heal DK. That's what they'll call it. Heal DK.
Oh, that prediction hurt my soul.
Just wait until they print common Lucia. 2 mana, 1/3 that gets your opponent's hand for the turn. Now you can play 2 of them. So I want to thank Super Chicken, Geranium Battle, always just in time, Saku, and Ron Mexico for joining me for the show tonight. Always great having each and every one of you. I want to thank all our viewers. I hope you had fun. We put this for you, so let us know if you enjoy it. Let us know if you don't like it. I'm always happy to get some feedback on what we can do better for you. I want to wish everyone as well a good night. We are incoming with matches. Saku, how are we in matches?
Friday, we're looking for a 9 p.m. Eastern. We do have, I think we're going to probably rename Friday Night Fights to Eternal Night Fights or something to that degree, because Eternal seems to be on every Friday. So it's a theme. But yeah, if anybody's going to be available at 9 p.m. Eastern, or even 10 p.m. Eastern, or whatever, we can definitely swing one more game. Sunday is probably not going to be a day for matches, unfortunately, because of some kind of event that's happening that people that watch the NFL. So yeah, but Saturday, I think Wild 9 has a couple matches. I just don't remember what they are offhand. So just stay tuned in the THL channel to see what 2 or 3 matches. I think actually it's 2. Pretty sure it's 2. So keep your eyeballs peeled on the THL Discord for those on Saturday.
All right. I want to use this opportunity to wish everyone a good night. Hearthcenter will be back in a week We're going to have a hot show next week as we finalize Wild PPR and go over so many of the matches that are going to happen this week. I invite you all to join us, and yeah, just have
So-
fun in your matches. As always, the most important thing is to have fun. Play your matches. We don't want any DQs. We want to see good results, and we want to have a great show for you all next week. So we'll see
That's
you
right.
all later, everyone.
Night,
Take care.
everybody.
We didn't do the brushy tuna thumbs up.